Boop, 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 boop. We are live. X402 Hackathon for the next month. Going to be virtual. How you feeling, Kevin?
Yes.
How you feeling, Nader?
I'm feeling good. I'm actually down here reposting this from a few other accounts just to make sure we get max visibility here.
Nice. Yeah, feeling good that we brought this together. This was actually originally Austin's idea, and I'm glad that we brought it to life. So this is super exciting. Yeah.
I've been building a few random things with X402, and it's really cool. Maybe we should talk about just what X402 is real quick, right? Like the typical, when you get the 404, I love the explanation of this because you always start with the 404. Like when you go to a page and it doesn't work, you get a 404. 402 is like when you go to a page and you need to pay for something. People keep talking about maybe this is going to replace API keys, because instead of going to a walled garden and signing up and getting a username and password and then or an API key and secret and then using those to access information, you might go to that information and it might say, you need to pay for this. Oh, x402hackathon.com. Yeah, the website is up. Nader just merged a push just now, and now it's live and ready to go.
Yes, we're definitely doing this. I would say we have a collaborative group that you said we kind of had this idea, we put it all together, and we're pushing things out. We're vibing it.
Yes, heck yeah.
Yeah, huge shout out to everybody that has chipped in. There's 12, well, more than that, 13 contributors, 14 contributors, and shout out to Amy from Eigen. She's done so much to organize it too. So thank you.
Yeah, absolutely. So do you want to talk about maybe the format and how this is all going to look, and maybe we'll go ahead and pull up the website and take a look at that as well?
Yeah, I think so. December 8th to January 5th, January 5th will be the stop day, right? So cool. Whoever added in this little freak out. I love that. Oh, whoops. And there's a Telegram chat you can join, apparently. Join the Telegram chat. This is going to be very open-ended, right? We do have some small rules of, you probably need to, if you're working on something that's existing, it needs to be, you're adding the 402 to it, and you need to say that very clearly when you show off your build. Here's the part that I built now, I'm adding the x402 integration, and that's the thing I'm showing off. When you get to the end and you submit your build, which is really the only requirement, is you have to submit your build here. There's no applying and getting accepted or any of that. You just build cool stuff over the next month and submit your build, and you show off a 2-minute video, right? We don't want a long set of slideshows about the problem statement or anything like that. We want a 2-minute video of you demoing the live awesome build, and we want to see that. And when you're doing that live awesome build, it needs to be, here's the thing that I built in the last month, not something you've been working on for 2 years and then you added x402 over the last month and then you show off the whole product as if it was built this month. Look at these great experts. So go ahead, Nader.
No, that's a good summary there. And we have the group chat already kicked off. We're going to have a lot of cool discussions there, a lot of great mentors in there. And like he mentioned, you really can just go and build something. And as long as you've created the project or you created the x402 integration during the time period, you're eligible. And we're going to be doing some, I would consider unconventional prizes, in terms of, we're not offering bounties, but instead we're offering, I would say, more visibility and distribution and collaboration. And maybe we can talk a little bit more about that as well.
Yeah. So one of the, oh, go ahead. Yeah.
No, go, please.
No, I was going to say, one of the things that Edge and Node's doing is we have the house, or the House of Web3, as you might know it, in San Francisco. So anyone who wins will be able to come for a month and co-work there. So if you're traveling, and this doesn't expire, so if you maybe you're going to be in San Francisco for a week, you can come to the House of Web3. And then we're also going to be doing bringing on our live stream and have you show off the build, and you'll get higher visibility on your project. So I think that's one of the goals too, is to give the devs visibility on what they're building, to help promote it.
And just leaning into that, not playing hackathon bingo here. We don't have a bunch of sponsors that you're going to pick up and and Frankenstein into your app here. You want to build on top of 402, but build something that pushes the ecosystem forward. Build something really interesting. Build something new. Like take 402 and integrate it into something that makes a lot of sense and requires payments. Do something super weird with x402 we've never seen before, right? Let's see weird, I always get excited when I see strange things like prediction markets on top of like traditional streams with x402 tipping or something like that, or the x402 tipping is the prediction market and there's 4 different options for tipping and whoever gets the most tips wins all the tips or something. I don't know. Yeah. Random things. Go ahead, Natter, man.
No, that's cool. I love the ideas. And, it's just a completely different world today than it was a year ago with AI and stuff. And you can really, really do an insane amount of, I would say, like, you can make an insane amount of progress in this length of time. Like in the past, I was like, oh, a 2 to 3 day hackathon is not enough time. But now it is. But this is a month. So, I mean, there's just so much that you can build. And I think the value, again, is going to be around like all of the different contributors, Ethereum Foundation, Edge and Node, and others. When you build maybe something like with their products, they're going to notice this. And I can tell you, like, Kevin already mentioned some of the stuff they're doing. I think everyone's going to kind of approach this a little differently. But like for us, one thing that I would love to do would be to kind of like bring all the top submissions into kind of a live stream. We'll also probably do like a thread where we kind of highlight everyone. We also have a few different programs ranging from Hacker House invites to incubator programs to even grants. Like we're not looking for grant farmers, but we are looking for incredible like long-term teams to kind of build with. So there's no like, I would say you're not going to be guaranteed anything, but if you build something really cool, I do guarantee that you will get something out of it.
We're going to give you great distribution, right? Like we're looking for cool people to make their stamp on the Ethereum ecosystem, and we want to be around to help elevate those things.
Yeah, absolutely. And maybe it makes sense too to also show off the resource page. So if you scroll down, there's a resource page there. And I think what's useful here is that if you're completely new to building on x402, there's going to be these resources for you to kind of like get in and dive in and like understand some stuff. Obviously, you can go to like x402.org, but we're going to be doing some workshops. So throughout the week, there's a calendar here. So you can go on there and find the links. Every single contributor that's providing workshops might have a different link. So it's important to use this as the source of truth. So as an example, like Edge and Node, we're going to be doing one on Ampersand and Ampersand SDK. We're going to have Kevin LaFew on from Coinbase to give an overview of an x402. We're also going to be running office hours every week from Edge and Node. So if you have questions about Ampersand or Ampersand SDK, so this is your kind of like your source of truth to like get access to the resources you need and make sure you take a look at that.
Heck yeah, looks good.
Yeah, Amy. Shout out to Amy. She's hardcore. She's really good at Notion.
It's like almost too organized with Amy.
She is great. Really, really good.
Yeah. Okay. Anything else? Should we talk about just any ideas you guys have? Anything you'd like to see? Any starter kits you have out there? I'm sure it's part of the resources, but yeah. What else comes to mind when you're thinking badass x402 projects?
I think you need 2 things, right? You need like an idea and the ability to execute. And I think that with AI and stuff, you can really, really make a lot of progress in both of those areas if you know how to kind of leverage the, I don't know, like different techniques that are maybe cutting edge or in the best models and all that stuff. So, Gemini or Google Gemini came out with like a new IDE. I haven't tried that out yet, but I often find like trying the newest like coding tools really often just gives me a leg up from what I had in the past. I'm really enjoying Opus 4.5. I think that Codex has been really, really good. And like I was just using Claude Code for the longest time. And when I kind of switched to a different model or I start using Codex, like these things don't seem like a huge deal, but I've actually made an insane amount of progress by doing that. So I think leaning into those AI tools and realizing like you're no longer limited by the amount of time that you have to build something. It's more about the idea at this point, right? I mean, if you know how to use these tools right.
That's a good shout out. Like Claude Cursor, all the AI stuff, like you can one-shot apps these days, which is really exciting, especially with something with a good starter kit. You can get something built really quick. With a whole month, you've got so much time. You've got time to get started and try a few things. Like if you don't have an idea yet, like dive into the idea space or dive into the just like the building side of things and start building, and you'll find an idea as you go. Build like a little starter kit that lets the buy me a coffee. That's like the classic crypto starter. Build an x402 buy me a coffee thing. Make it so someone else could paste it into their website, like a little embedded thing that someone else can put on their website that's buy me a coffee. You click on it, it sends back like an x402 thing. So then like your agents would be buying them a coffee, I guess. But there's always this like difference of who's using the x402 endpoint. Like, is it agent to agent? Is it human to agent? Sometimes you have to build for both, but get in and discover that, and then you'll start like finding other things that need to happen. So yeah, build a little buy me a coffee thing where people get the x402. And I think the way it works is you land on a site and you make like a post request to a site. I guess you don't land on a site. If it's an API, you make a post request and it comes back with a response that says, here's the requirements. Like you need to send, this token. And basically what you're doing is signing a meta transaction, right? You need to sign a message that says you'll send me 5 cents of this token to this address or something like that. And then your client then packages up and signs some kind of meta transaction that says I will pay that. And then that drops over to the server with a post request. The server hits a facilitator, takes the facilitator like runs a transaction, pays the gas. The 5 cents moves over to whatever address it needs to be. Then it returns to the server. The server knows that you've correctly paid, and then the server responds with whatever things it needs to respond with. So I don't know, maybe there's a buy me a coffee and get access to my recent blog post, 5 hours before I launch it, or something weird like that, right? Or yeah, token gated content with x402. I don't know if I've seen that yet, but I'm sure it's out there. But going back to the very beginning when I was talking about x402 replacing API keys, like think through this. This is probably something that's probably going to happen where someone has an API where they have information or they have some kind of compute power or database storage. And to get access to that, instead of going to them and asking them for an API key in secret and then using that API key in secret to access it, what you'll do is probably just hit it and it will say, hey, you got to pay a little bit, and you pay a little bit. And then it says, hey, here's a JWT for the next 10 requests. And then you make a bunch of requests to get the information you need or do the compute you need or store the stuff you need. And so that model just like scales all across the internet for all sorts of interesting things. And maybe it replaces API keys, maybe it supplements it. Maybe there's like this, like JWT in the middle where there's like multiple calls for every one time you pay. A lot of interesting models, but explore that. And I think get in, start one-shotting things, start trying things. Don't be limited by, I don't know if I have a good enough idea. Like you've got a month and you've got the resources available to you to one-shot a project every evening for nights and weekends, folks out there. And just by doing that, you'll learn so much.
Yeah, the iteration idea is like great advice, like just trying to build something. And if it's not working out, just like can it and start over again. With AI, you can like bootstrap so quickly. And you'll kind of like start thinking through your kind of like ideas, in that way, right? Like just by like doing. And then also like something I want to talk about is like, I'd love to see more exposure for like real services with agents, like maybe integrating with like ERC 8004 and seeing like ways to make these things that we normally would expect an API access to, maybe making agents that can kind of replace those API endpoints and be like service discoverable, so that we're building stuff that can be reused. I think like reusability is super important when it comes to like agents. And so with x402, you can really do that, right? You can start kind of building these like really, really useful like data agents or API agents or agents that are doing things. Almost think of it like microservices, like you're building these little agents that need to just solve one specific problem. I think that's an interesting use case as well that like I don't think we've really cracked. Like I think that would be like the large adoption for like AI agents in x402 is when we have like, oh, we can just find that in the Explorer, like, and the agent will just go out and get what we need or do what we need. And so that's one of the ideas I had, is like just trying to make a better experience for agents to find other agents.
Yeah, great shout out for 8004, right? Go if you're just learning about x402 or ERC 8004, go deep dive both of these things, because they're very interesting agent to agent economy things. 8004 is sort of discoverability and reputation. X402 is sort of payments. Both of those things would be tied together to end up making something that maybe the example I always give is you've got a marketing agent that you've built that like needs to run a bunch of ads while you sleep, and you give it $100 and say, tell me which ads were the best. And it's like going to 8004, it's looking up which agents can make copy for me, what agents can make images for me, and then it's generating images and copy and putting those together and running those ads for you, figuring out which ones did well, paying into the reputation, not paying into, but signing up for the reputation on 8004, saying which copywriters were the best, using x402 to pay those copywriters and those image generators. And then you wake up in the morning and you have this like bitchin' ad that was like, this is the one that got the most click-throughs, and let's like iterate on that now, right? There's so many things that can happen while you sleep at light speed with 8004 and x402. So get out there and build. I think that's the most important thing.
Yeah, in terms of starters, the two that I've played around with that I've kind of like been using are the X402 starter kit. Literally, you just kind of Google that and it'll show up. But there's also a CLI I created, and I need to add the these links to our resources if it's not already there. But you can actually just go to your command line and run npx create x402, like create-x402. And it will scaffold one of like 17 boilerplates. One of them is the starter kit, and the rest of them are actually linked from the most recent version of the Coinbase like SDK examples. So the reason that this is nice, because in order to actually get to those examples, you have to like clone the whole repo, and then you have to like go delete a bunch of stuff. But with the CLI, you can just run npx create 402, and it gives you like 17 different options to start with. And I think Austin was kind of talking about like good starting points. And if you start one of these, you can one shot a lot easier, because it has everything it needs to kind of like get started.
Yeah, that's exactly the thing. It's like a good starter kit that has everything wired together is going to make it work way better for AI.
Yeah, totally. Yeah, Fairmeter, someone mentioned that.
We also have the Ampersand SDK, which has two examples in it. One is Power It with Google A2A, and then one is like an MCP example with LangGraph, LangChain. So you can kind of start from there as well, and that kind of helps you if you're going to use Ampersand for the hackathon, which we'll get into later this week. But yeah.
And when I start all my projects, of course, I start with Scaffold ETH. So I would probably start with Scaffold ETH. If this is going to have any smart contract involved in it, I'd get the smart contract deployed. I'd get like normal interactions happening where I can interact with a smart contract to do the thing. And then I'd build the X402 layer on top of that, where instead of making the transactions directly on the contract, you're actually signing meta transactions that are going to a server, and a facilitator is settling them. But that's scaffoldeth.io.
Here, let me go ahead.
Shut up. I wonder, is there an x402 extension of Scaffold ETH? Because Scaffold ETH has those extensions.
I don't know if there is yet or not. Let me go check that out. I'm not sure.
That would be pretty cool to have. Maybe that's something we can throw together this week.
And then there's also an NPX command.
There is.
Like NPX create ETH. That's pretty cool.
Yep.
There is an X402 extension. Look at that.
Nice.
Pretty
Boom.
sweet. I'm not even sure who created that. Let's see who's responsible. Give them a shout out. Looks like Shiv put it in there, but I'm not sure who did it. But yeah, scaffoldeth.io is where you go for getting that starter kit. Awesome, guys. Anything else? Go ahead, Nader. Sorry.
No, I was just saying that's pretty nice. We have a lot of stuff for people to get started with.
Yeah, looking forward to see what you guys build. Very excited. Thanks for hopping on today, guys. This is going to be a fun one. And yeah, let us know if you have issues. I'm trying to, so the Telegram chat is going to be the best place for people to go if you have problems or questions. So we'll all try to keep an eye on that.
Yep, totally. Join the Telegram if you're interested. You don't even have to commit to anything. Just hop in there, and if you feel like you want to build something, you're there.
And maybe you're an idea guy and you're looking for a builder, or you're a builder and you're looking for an idea guy. Jump in there and team up too. There's lots of people in that chat, but join that chat. That'll kind of be the Schelling point for discussions, and we can go from there on building something in the future of X402. Let's go.
Amazing, amazing. All right, well, thanks again to all of the contributors, because there's a lot of them that aren't here right now, but they've all been helping out a lot. And again, thanks to Amy for all of the work that she's done. And yeah, just looking forward to seeing what people build, and we will hopefully see you on a new live stream with all of the top submissions sometime soon.
Get your build submitted by January 5th, and make it simple, make it short, make it just a live demo. Don't give us a slideshow. Just give us 2 minutes of an awesome live demo.
Yeah.
And you'll see us retweeting those things and giving you the exposure you need. Go ahead, Nader.
100%. No, I'm just echoing that. 100%.
Awesome. Good luck, guys.
Bye, everyone. Good luck.